met him. But somehow I just always felt that I was holding that baton in my hand as Generation Next. And that in itself was a huge responsibility. As far as I'm concerned, when I got married, it was a very patriarchal setup. And Maharaja Hari Singh, yes, I have to be honest about that. Maharaja Hari Singh was the first one who actually broke every rule there was, to make sure that women get recognized and women get equal representation in society. Prior to that, my grandmother-in-law, that is Maharaja Hari Singh's wife, was the first lady who actually had a picture of, a portrait of. Prior to them, none of the other generations of the ruling family even had a picture taken of the woman of the house. So there's been a lot of change, and he was extremely dynamic and forward-thinking. When I came in, I also very subtly brought in my own reform, and I started with education 30 years ago. I started a school, the first public school of Jammu Kashmir, which was a co-educational school. It had girls and boys. And trust me, it wasn't easy to sort of break certain norms and break barriers to sort of bring about change and reform. So the first thing I did was education, because I feel education is the key to a great generation, and the children are your future. So that was the first thing I got into Jammu Kashmir, and I worked very hard on the ground on that. We produced a fantastic alumni. I had a chance to meet some of the alumni in the last meeting here, and I found that they were representing Tesco's and buyers for some things, and she happened to be from my school. And when I actually educated her, this girl who I met here last time in this very room, she happened to belong to a family that sold vegetables at a cart. She didn't have the money, and I had the vision to actually educate her for free. So on behalf of the Maharaja Hari Singh Trust, we actually provide free education to lots and lots of students. We've produced wonderful alumni, and girls who actually don't have opportunity have been given opportunities through our foundation. I'm very proud to say that our alumni today is all over the world. They're in government, they have their own businesses, they're entrepreneurs. They represent, even in Parliament, we have some of our children who are now DCs and DIFCOMs and things like that. So coming to the second thing that I did was actually I brought in the first Chamber of Commerce and Industry for women. It's a body called FICCI Flow, which actually is one of the largest women-based chambers of commerce and industry in the country. And I was fortunate enough to pioneer and found a chapter in Jammu Kashmir where we got 100 entrepreneurs to come on board. Women entrepreneurs, never been done before. And then now, of late, I have been actually interacting in this journey. I have been interacting with a lot of the rural sector in Jammu, particularly in Jammu, and I find that the women entrepreneurs that are coming out from the villages is something that we all need to reckon with. And I really believe that somewhere down the line, the culture of a CSR or corporate social responsibility must come in. And I would actually invite everybody who has an Indian origin to come back and give back to your society. Because you know what? You need to get back to your roots. Give back to your roots. If your roots are strong, the tree will grow beautifully. And there is a comeback, and there is a call for capacity building as well. And we need to all come back together. There's a need for inclusivity. We need to have inclusion of all society coming together. We need to bridge the gaps that there are between government and private sector. We need to bridge the gap between the armed forces and the civilians. We need to bridge the gap between urban and rural spaces, because rural India is now coming up to be a very, very strong part of our system. Thanks to Prime Minister Modi, he has actually done a lot of schemes which people like me are carrying forward. So we are sort of actually educating the women and the girl child out there in Jammu to even know what these schemes are, because most of the time it doesn't reach the public. There are these great schemes and millions of schemes, but you don't know how to. A lot of people are not even aware of these schemes. So in general, I just wanted to say that we come from a city of temples. I come from Jammu, and that's where I live. And Jammu is a city of temples, and like Bob you just mentioned, that tourism is a really, really big factor for us to promote. I would invite all of you to please come and see what we have. You know, even filming and the film industry is now reaching out to us because we've got some great locations and our price factors are really, really attractive. Apart from that, there is a lot of industry, there's a lot of handicraft of late. My latest project, there's lots that I've done, and I will share that with the house, with everybody sitting here. From time to time, Sonal can share some of my work that I've done. I don't want to take up time at all. I've realized that you're all in a rush, and it's getting late now. But my latest project is something called Runway Diaries. I just launched that now on the 15th of this month. I just literally launched a really good industrial body, the first of its kind in Jammu, which was the first design council of our region. It's a very robust industry. We do a lot of things with handicraft, textile, embroideries, and now I'm ready to sort of showcase that, and hopefully with your help, Sonal, you've got a network for me to have those products out in the best stores here in the UK. I would like to export a lot of our designers, because we are actually hand-holding artisans and giving them a livelihood, and I think we are trying to sort of hold on to some of the dying art forms which deserve a place in the map of this world. We belong, Jammu Kashmir is really in the crown, geographically, we're the crown of India's map. And now I think in every which way, we should remain at that crown. Very proud of it.
Information, propaganda about the circumstances in which His Highness Maharaja Hari Singh Ji made this decision. Now, since we have freed from the shackles of political narratives that denied the historic decision of accession its due place in our political history, it's time to look back and recall the moment in history. Ladies and gentlemen, no other place on earth can understand better the historical importance of Jammu and Kashmir than the place where we have gathered this evening. When British decided to leave the political destiny of India to its people, there was a special case for the princely states of which Jammu and Kashmir was the most important and most strategically placed at the intersection of three major powers. It was left to the rulers of the princely states to decide the future of these states between the new evolving dominion of India and Pakistan. Since one of the two dominions had taken birth purely on the basis of religion, it is needless to say that the basic rule of the rulers to decide the destiny of the states was based on the majority religion. There are more than 500 princely states in India, but in terms of area, geographically, location and the population, only three states mattered: Hyderabad, Junagadh and Jammu and Kashmir. When the independence, being no option, all princely states were required to decide their destiny between India or Pakistan between August 14th and 15th, 1947. To save your time, to keep our attention focused on the importance of this day, I am skipping the account of Hyderabad and Junagadh, the two other states which had not decided under the deadline. I will talk only about Jammu and Kashmir. The political narratives that I mentioned just a short while ago kept on questioning His Highness for delay in the decision of accession. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe that the rare test of statesmanship that Maharaja Hari Singh went through as a ruler, it was pretty easy for him to decide. But as a statesman that he was, he had to look at the complexity of the composition of the population of the state in its geostrategic importance at that part of history. Jammu and Kashmir was a Muslim majority state with an exceptionally secular ruler who was Hindu. He could see the bloodletting the religious divisions had unleashed in India. He didn't want that to happen in Jammu and Kashmir. It was with this view that His Highness employed utmost strategic patience to arrive at a state that when he decided on accession, his decision carries the weight of consciousness on the population. While such engagements for consensus were still going, including meeting with Mahatma Gandhi, Lord Mountbatten and key figures of influence, within Jammu and Kashmir, the Pakistani tribesmen attacked Kashmir and then through the reign of terror, loot and plunder. A highly unfortunate event in the history of Jammu and Kashmir by this attack, if I may use this expression, proved a blessing in disguise that the people in Jammu and Kashmir, the Muslims and the Hindus, everyone was able to see the face of Pakistan. And everyone could agree that accession to India, as His Highness believed, is not only a guarantee to a secure political future, but also a guarantee to a dignified life. October 26, 1947, ladies and gentlemen, was a historic day when His Highness Maharaja Hari Singh and Lord Mountbatten signed the Instrument of Accession, making Jammu and Kashmir an integral part of where it belonged, to the great Indian nation. What a great occasion and feeling to be here in the British Parliament on this day to reveal the story of historic moments in the life of our beautiful state of Jammu and Kashmir. A particular form of political influenced the external factors and sadly supported by a section of political powers in India subjected the accession to doubts and conditions, thus making Kashmir a boiling pot for decades. These confusions and political uncertainties gave space to separatism and terrorism, which India had to fight for 3 decades. It was on August 5th, 2019 that all uncertainties and doubts were removed by the government of Prime Minister Honorable Narendra Modi by effecting constitutional changes, thus restoring the sanctity and primacy of the accession. As I speak here, ladies and gentlemen, back home in Jammu, there is a public holiday to mark accession anniversary. It is only now that after 7 decades that the constitutionally charged of August 2019 puts the decision of His Highness Maharaja Hari Singh Ji in the right perspective. Our families, the Dogra family of Jammu, was remained intrinsic to the political, social and cultural life of Jammu and Kashmir for 200 years. All these 2 centuries, every generation put people at the center of their statecraft. It was in 1820 that our grandfather became the Raja of Jammu, initially in service of Sikh Empire of Lahore. Over the next 2 decades, he expanded the boundaries of the empire to the northern frontiers, some of the most difficult territories of the face of earth. After Anglo-Saxon War, my great-grandfather, His Highness Maharaja Gulab Singh, founded the state of Jammu and Kashmir in 1846. Maharaja Gulab Singh Ji, subsequently Maharaja Ranbir Singh, Maharaja Pratap Singh and Maharaja Hari Singh ran the state of Jammu and Kashmir on most modern progressive lines with priorities to public healthcare, education, critical infrastructure, art and culture. Our families have remained deeply committed to the idea of democracy and public welfare, and we continue to make contributions to different spheres of public life. My wife, who is here with us this evening, engages with youth and women of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh for emancipation and empowerment of the women. The decisive constitutional changes of 5th of August 2019 under the dynamic leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi has put our family contribution to a nation building in public spotlight, and perhaps for this reason that I am here at the British Parliament to talk about accession of Jammu and Kashmir to the Union of India. Thank you ever so much to all the participants who have come from all over the world. A friend of Jammu and Kashmir and admirer of Dogras and great friends of life. I miss having Honorable MP walk today at the moment. I think he's still struggling from one room to the other. But I hope everything goes well, and thank you very much for having us over.